have black. What is our opponent going to do? D4. Okay. How about a King's Indian? They normally do exchange if they're... Oh, okay. We got somebody interested in playing today. Let's do this variation. Uh-huh. We're going to go for it. All right. Good square for a pony. Or anything for that matter. It just feels nice. Feels right. Okay. Evacuate the dance floor. Alright, we'll shut that door for him. And then I want the H-file. But later. Let's go ahead and organize a bit first. Okay. None of that, sir. I appreciate what you're trying to do. But no, that is the answer. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some ideas of sacrificing here later. What you gonna do? Let's come here. Knight b5, I really want to keep my bishop. So I got to go queen b8. If rook b1, a6. It's interesting. Knight c3, but then he gets the b6 square for his rook. Surprising. Our boy got impatient. I can run away too, though. How do you get in the hole? I don't think you do. Okay. Good spot for the knight. We'll keep doing it. And miraculously, my king is somehow safe. Start with that. Yeah, he's got a lot to think about here. I think I can dance the dance. That was my idea. Dance the dance. Okay. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that could be a draw. Let's do that. Okay. Ready, set, go. Gotcha. Okay, some sneaky stuff at the end there. Very interesting King's Indian game, as I went for a sideline in the classical variation. And not many people are going into the stuff anymore, but I went with c5, and as you can tell, it's not super popular by any means. Knight d7 is the main line, with that idea of getting an f5, and you get the typical structures where you go all out looking for ideas. And it's an interesting organization of the pieces here. Knight g6, and you can go for this type of line. Rook f7, bishop d7, and you're willing to give over there for the bishop to cover and go all out for the attack. If you live by the sword, you die by the sword. This is the true King's Indian defense. So I went c5 because I'll typically play sidelines in blitz games. Why not? And my opponent gets this type of position and then goes g4. I felt like the typical play, you need to play on the queen side somehow. But he went g4, and I was looking at the idea of g5, going h5, and then going after this pawn. But bishop h3 makes so much more sense, and that way you can go after the pawn this way. But after h3, I see that it's locked down, and he'll have no use of the h-file. Only I'll be able to use it later. And this is all good. Knight takes g4. Yeah, this wasn't on my radar. I don't see like the engine just jumped because it realized no, you're wrong. So yeah, rook h2. Yeah, I was following it and I'm going, I'm missing something big here. The eval, yeah, there's a reason it took a big jump. But yeah, rook takes. I figured he'd play knight b5, or I mean the engine's the same way, king g1. But yeah, rook takes h4 was a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, he forces play, which was probably pretty good. Queen d8. What's best? Knight h7 was actually my first reaction. But after queen takes, I was thinking bishop f6, and then I didn't like the fact that my knight was there, and it doesn't have any coverage. Yeah, this is a tad uncomfortable. So let's see how my king f7 did. Yeah. No. So bishop f6, rook g1, knight g3. Since he's got nothing, he's just recommending taking. Okay. Defense. Expect to play an attacking game when you play a King's Indian. Oh! Huge, ridiculous blunder on my part. We'll find out why in a second, because I have no idea why. And you just shut down the attack with the rook sack back. So let's find out how I completely botched this easily winning position, apparently. I decide to get fancy and take in between. He's just supposed to go king e2. And yeah, rook takes f4. And I guess this is the point. E5. Knight e4. And even though with the bishops and the extra material, black is just in paralysis. Yeah. Definitely didn't see this being that strong. More I'm looking at it, I just don't see any ideas. Like queen b8 and try to draw. Like, it's ridiculous. King's Indian, folks. But my opponent goes with queen g5. And I get a position similar. I wanted to take the rook, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this is one of those, if he takes, I'm going to take the rook anyway. If he doesn't take, I'm just up a knight. So worth the gamble. And this is time trouble play at this point. So I had this idea to sacrifice material back just to cover key squares around the king. You know, no like rook h1, queen h7 type mates with this type of stuff. And I knew I was going to be able to have a breakthrough one way or another doing it this way. This move, got the subtle, let's trade queens, let's be friends. And nope, no friendship. That'll do it for that one. Kind of disappointed that I missed that knight takes e2 stuff. This is what happens when you're working too much, you don't study your tactics. You just start playing like garbage when it comes to any sort of tactical skirmish. And playing against stronger masters, that's the type of stuff where I am pitching games, is missing those types of things. So hopefully it was interesting for you guys. Always be looking and self-reflecting of what you can do better in your games, and maybe it helps you hearing my thought process on it. But to me, need to get back to studying tactics on a daily basis, like a lot of them.